The following program is brought to you by the Realm of Collectors. Please stand by and take your seats.
Good evening, and welcome to Masterpiece Shitpiece Theater. If you would please kindly take your seats, the show will begin momentarily.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's another Friday, another episode of Masterpiece Shitpiece Theater. I'm your host, Nick Brammer, and we've got some of the crew with us this week. Somebody thought it was more important to take family time. Welcome, ladies and go to fucking Hallow Friday, another episode of Masterpiece
He got hung up at Area
Theater.
51, dude.
I'm your host, Nick Brammer.
Fucking.
He's our Karen. He showed up there with $20,000 in expired Kohl's cash.
Oh man, they'll accept that shit too.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Just joking. We love you, Russ. You said hold on?
Yeah, overlay.
We're getting video dropout too.
Oh, fuck.
We shouldn't be.
It comes and then it goes, and then it comes and then it goes.
Oh, I think that's
Just like the Kyle squad.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
All right.
You can take that any way you wish.
There we go.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't have it.
It's
out
okay,
next on the
man.
window.
I can't complain about anybody else having tech problems with my history, bro.
Yeah.
No, I had forgotten to put it in its own window. That's all it was.
Yeah, no, at least YouTube seems to be cooperating this week. So
Yeah.
that was a bear.
Fuck yeah, it was. So, peoples, I'm glad to have everybody with us.
Absolutely.
Go ahead and start with intros. Josh, tell them where you're at on the internet, please.
I'm a little bit of everywhere. You know, I'm like a bad virus.
A rash.
Yeah, but there's cure for rashes. There's no cure for me. But you can catch me every Friday on the All Queued Up podcast that I do with my friend Greg. Put out a new episode today, of course, you know, because it's Friday. Covered the new Dave Chappelle special, Bill Burr's new stand-up special, and a cool movie. So go check that out, see what we thought. But do that tomorrow. Stick around here tonight.
Yeah.
Follow me on Facebook, my regular name, you know, my given name's on there. It's a public profile. Everything I'm linked to is linked to my Facebook profile. You can catch me here live every Friday night with you guys here on this show, on this channel, and also on this channel now, officially, every other Wednesday on Figure Banging.
Yeah, dude.
So I'm
Moving on up.
I'm the newbie over there. I gotta learn my place. I accidentally asked a question I didn't know I wasn't supposed to ask. I thought anybody could ask it at an appropriate time, and I was wrong. And I got Ace put me in my place. But that's all right. But that's me. What about you guys?
Rob, tell them where you're at.
Currently hiding from the law. I got a truckload of alien technology, and it's all coming home. I'm currently podcasting from somewhere in the West.
Set them free, man.
I bet none of that alien technology had a cure for anything. Little anti-vax kids have already picked up, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus.
No, they all got.
I vaporized the first trailer, and I
Oh,
stole
yeah.
a second one.
There you go. There you go. 'Cause
You
I was
see,
gonna
the
say
good
Mount
part
Rod's got
about-
smallpox.
The good part about being a truck driver is those trucks are pretty universal. They'll hook up to a lot of trailers. I got the good shit.
he got the mothership.
He's lying. He didn't get shit. He's got like 17 busted ass microwaves and a fucking Zenith TV from the 70s with rabbit ears. 13
They're from
inch.
Area 51. The bitches are going on eBay.
I was gonna say, man, put them on eBay. Highly radioactive. Buy at your own risk.
Is that why that shit's glowing and it's not plugged in?
Yeah, and your balls hurt.
Fuck, I lost all my hair!
Oh, shit. Did y'all see that fucking episode of South Park where they all get ball cancer?
Yeah.
Yes. And they're riding around on them like those fucking things you can buy
Yeah.
back in the day.
Those
Like a
little-
pogo ball.
what do you call them? I forget. Humpity.
Hippity
Something
hops.
like that. Hippity hop. Yeah. I was gonna say humpity dumpity.
Oh my god, that shit.
Humpity dumpity. Jesus Christ.
Humpity
This is going to be a
dumpity,
good show, guys. I'm fucking gone.
What you all don't realize is that the Humpity Dumpity is Nick's power sex move.
Yeah,
He's like, you ready, Kate? He's like, here comes a
It's the
humpty
re-
dumpty, and then
It's
they
the
break the
reverse
bed
reach
again.
around.
The reverse reach around.
No, dude, Nick reaches all the way around his body and Kate's, and then just gives himself a hand job.
Yeah, right in between.
Oh
If I didn't have arms like a small child, that would be doable. Sam, tell him where you're at on the internet.
Insta Sam89 on Instagram. Sam in the groups. And then here on Friday night, I wanted to read something that was commented on our promo, and this was from Chuck C. So that this is funny, man. This dude's funny. So we were talking about, Russ being our resident Karen.
He's a total
You know,
Karen.
complaining to the manager, and Josh just reiterated that fact. Like, yeah, it would be Russ, but Chuck said this. He said, "No, Russ only makes wanton rants into the void of the internet." and I'm sorry that Russ isn't here to defend himself, but I thought that was hilarious, man. And keep doing that, guys. If you got something
He'll
funny to
make a
comment,
video about it tomorrow and bitch.
oh, I can't wait, dude. I can't wait because I need something to base the promo off for next week. But if you got, I
This
feel like,
fucker's in the chat, by the way.
who, Russ?
Yeah, I thought you were at Hallow Scream, you motherfucker. God,
God damn, what
He's
the hell
lying.
is
He's
this cast?
sleeping.
You got Sam that was podcasted or texting us from the beach. You got Russ texting us from a roller coaster.
Yeah, man. No, but I feel like if there's a funny comment on these promos, I will say them. I'll say them on air and shout you out. Shout out to Chuck C. That dude's funny.
I got
man.
your language, Walter.
All right, Nick, where you at, dude?
I'm in the stratosphere right now, gentlemen. You can find me on Facebook as Nick Brammer, Twitter Brammer_Nick, and Instagram at masterpiece_shitpiece. So, guys, we had
Oh, wait.
some tech problems last week.
We
Oh,
did.
what?
We did.
Yeah, fuck YouTube.
Yeah, fuck YouTube and
Oh.
just
YouTube's back on it.
fucking what?
You want to do
Josh.
a quick fantasy update? And then
Yeah,
we'll get
you
into
do that. Yeah, you do
Alright.
that. So,
Oh wait, we have a fantasy thing going on.
oh yeah.
Yeah, man.
Dude, didn't I beat you, Nick?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, this is why he didn't want to do it, Josh. He's like,
I
oh, I
like-
forgot.
Fucking like 50 points or some shit.
Right on. I'm on your bullshit, Rob. Just not doing anything, man.
I keep forgetting.
Me too, dude. I'm grading papers, man. I can't.
All right. Screen share. And now to edit. There we go. This week in the MPSP Theater League, which is the five of us, versus friends of the show. And some people didn't fare too well this week. First of all, as we just mentioned, Sam actually won and beat Nick. Nick has started out 0-2, and he's sitting at 8th place overall currently, last in the division.
I'm gonna retire now. Go out on a high note.
He lost 199.96 to 256.66.
So it was even fucking worse.
Yeah. 50.
I'm a throat
56 and
punching
a
you,
half
fucking
points. Eric B's Crushicons, they were victorious over Jason Lowry's the replacements. Jason drops to 0-2 with 9th overall, and Eric moves up. He's 2-0 to 3rd overall. He won 239.20 to 178.92. Rob, he pulled off his first victory of the season after his opening week loss to me.
Oh yeah, I feel it right up the dull hole.
He beat Walt's Galvatron Rage 250.5 to 216.88. So Walt, he talked a lot of shit last year on us, and he opened up with a big victory in week 1. We thought, damn, he might be something, but Rob put the smack down on him.
Soundly in his
past
place.
week, so.
Do you feel it? Huh?
Vinny, Skinny Vinny, aka Half a Meatball, he put a handy victory down onto Anna's Bacura Defenders, won 229.44 to 176.66. He's first overall in points scored in the league. He's first in his division. As for myself, I took on Russ, and I beat the dog shit out of Russ, just like I said I was going to do that little fucking cupcake last week.
Russ having a bad week.
Y'all were here. Y'all heard the shit. I said I'm fucking you up, and I did. Biggest blowout of the week. I beat him 274.54 to 166.26. So little cupcake Karen had to cry about it and took this week off and made up the excuse. I'm taking my family to Busch Gardens.
It's a family vacation, even though he's in the chat.
Yeah, he's in the chat. Fuck him. Little fucking princess is soft. He falls.
He's texting and driving right now. He probably hit a pole.
Anna's probably driving.
Oh, Anna's driving. She ain't gonna let him touch nothing.
Especially that new ride. Keep your mitts off.
So he falls to 1-1. Yeah. So.
I just want to say that at least I haven't had a sub 2. Oh, I guess I did have a sub 200 game. Oh well, never mind.
Well, it was only 0.04 points away from a sub 200 game, so it's okay, man. I'll call it 200 points. Yeah. This week I'm facing Nick. It looks like it's going to be a close one. He had players last night in the Thursday game. All mine are Sunday and Monday players. So I'm slated right now to win by 6 points. Russ is taking on Vinny. He's assured another defeat. Sorry, that's just the way it is, Russ. Vinny's going to kick the shit out of you. Eric, he's facing Walt, and while Walt's up 35.5 points right now, Eric's slated to win by, about 60 points there. Lowry is slated to win
KJ?
over Anna. And Rob is slated to beat the shit out of Sam. So we'll see how that happens next week.
Man.
But yeah, that's the fantasy update. All right,
guys. Last week we had tech problems, so you only caught from 4 to 10 on the Friday the 13th list, and I spent time on that shit. So y'all gonna have to hear the rest.
Get this work.
Yeah. All right, guys. So the way I wanted to start this off was by going through some of the origins of Friday the 13th.
Origins.
Origins. You know what the fuck I'm saying.
He's got that Florida accent.
I don't know what kind of accent it is. It's just mad mispronunciations everywhere. All right. So the superstitions over Friday the 13th date back to the Bible. Judas was the 13th guest to show up for the Last Supper. Jesus died on Good Friday. So, Jabus. Fucking, yeah. So, that's the start of most of the superstition. There were some other things that happened on Friday the 13th that were pretty significant. The Templars were arrested in France, the Knight Templar, by Philip IV of France because he wanted basically to use their wealth to funnel his war chest. There was an Italian composer, Gioacchino Rossini, who was he had a fear of Friday the 13th, and he died on it.
Oh, wow.
What
to have been him?
Yeah. So what brought most of Friday the 13th into the modern consciousness was there was a 1907 novel by Thomas W. Lawson called Friday the 13th. It was a story about a stockbroker who takes advantage of the Friday the 13th superstition to cause a Wall Street panic. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and start with the first Friday the 13th. It was released in 1980. It was directed by Sean Cunningham and written by Victor Miller. Starred Betsy Palmer as Pamela Voorhees, Adrienne King as Alice, and Kevin Bacon as Jack. People think this was his first movie, but he had already done Animal House and a few other things. Tom Savini created the effects for this movie, which has some of the most iconic kills in slasherdom, especially Kevin Bacon's fucking Robson and shit. Kevin Bacon's death, where the arrow comes through his throat. It was achieved by having Kevin Bacon lie down, and they basically built a false neck and torso on top of him. And Tom Savini was under the bed and just like twisted the arrow up through, and they had a blood bag. So that's how that kill was done. It was pretty significant because it was for slasher films, it was the first one where a woman was the killer. There had been other movies dating back to the 30s and even 20s with female killers, but this was probably the first modern movie with a female killer. One of the cool things that a lot of people don't know is in Pamela Voorhees' death scene, that's actually not the actress Betsy Palmer. That is Tom Savini. And if you look, when the hands come up like this and her head goes flying, there's hair on the knuckles. And that's Tom Savini.
Did he do the stunts for all the sex scenes that featured her as well?
Yeah, probably. He's notorious for being a blue hair chaser.
Notorious stunt cock.
Yeah. Bring in the stunt cock! All right. Any of you guys have any questions about the first Friday the 13th?
What day did it come out on?
I have no idea. It was not. It did not come out on Friday the 13th. The first Friday the 13th to come out on Friday the 13th comes a little later. Anybody else?
Wait, so Jason? So she was the killer in that one?
Yes.
Jason has a Jason doing.
I'm sorry.
What was the actual Jason doing?
He was dead.
Jason,
he was being dead, man.
Yeah.
Wasn't he like chained up in the ocean or in that lake?
No, that comes later too in part 6. We talked about last week, and everybody can see that. Jason has a small cameo at the end where he appears when you think the lead heroine Alice is basically safe and she's out on a little rowboat after she beheaded Betsy Palmer's Pamela Voorhees, and this mongoloid kid comes up out of the water and like flips her off the fucking rowboat, and that's Jason.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So, moving on to part 2. It was directed by Steve Miner after Sean Cunningham, Victor Miller, and Savini walked from the project, believing a movie based on Jason was a stupid idea. Cunningham returned to help with casting and pre-production. Starred Amy Steele as Ginny, John Fury as Paul, and Adrian King returned for Alice. Tom McBride played Mark, the kid in the wheelchair, which has one of the more iconic kills in Friday the 13th, where Jason basically slammed a machete into his head while he was on his wheelchair, and he goes down the fucking stairs in the wheelchair with a fucking machete wedged in his head. Ralph from the first movie, the guy that's like, "You're gonna die, there's a death curse," was murdered in this movie. He was strangled with wire.
What kind of wire?
Cheese wire.
Fucking piano wire, like a real fucking G.
Yeah, probably.
Which keys wire? Some of it's super razor fine, and then some of it's thick.
Whatever they use in Goodfellas.
Jason's a pretty stout mongoloid, so I'm sure he probably used some good fucking gauge on that wire.
It's probably like a deep bass key.
Yeah.
Like one of the ones that goes.
Adrian King had a stalker and only agreed to return if she had a small part. This guy had actually broken into her house.
Wait, like a real life stalker?
Yeah, like a real life stalker.
Dude.
So like she was really upset and basically just wanted her character killed off so that she believed the stalker would leave her alone. It's one of the first celebrity stalker cases. And
wait, and you said a dude had broken into her house?
Yeah, dude broke into her house and was just waiting there for her.
Damn, dude, and Russ isn't even here to defend himself, man.
I know. That fucker.
Talking all
Well, I
this shit.
mean, we don't know. It could have been Russ, or it could have been,
Russ.
some formerly employed wide receiver who shall remain nameless, but fucking Antonio Brown.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Fucking
Jesus.
monster. Story for another time.
Yeah.
Sleeping with the fishes.
Wait, so real quick, do you know, Nick, did she do anything after this, or she just kind of lead normal life?
I believe she led a normal life, but there's always IMDb to see.
Yeah. What's her name?
Adrian King.
Okay, I'm gonna look that up.
I got it, son. I'm at least good for something. Well, she was born in Oyster Bay on Long Island. Shit, she has some roles, man. In some movies she was in Hair. She was an uncredited dancer. Again, in Saturday Night Fever, an uncredited dancer. There was a short movie called Back to the Lake. And Back to the Lake 2. Let's see. Where is the shit? Oh, she's got some crew credits for some movies. She was on the crew in The Good Son and also Wolf with Michelle Pfeiffer and Jack Nicholson.
So what you're saying is pretty much she never acted again.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. She's had some very small roles in what looked like to be fan films. But other than that, yeah, she basically was run off from acting from this asshole stalking her.
Wow.
Excuse me.
Jackass.
Warrington Gillette was credited with playing Jason, but he dropped out due to injuries. Most of the scenes were done by stuntman Steve Dash. Jason's look was inspired by The Killer in the Town That Dreaded Sundown. It was a 1976, I believe, movie that was basically a grindhouse movie. And while not really considered a slasher movie, it had a lot of the same overtones as your more famous slasher movies. This movie also has the only time in the series that Jason was portrayed by a woman. Ellen Luter, a member of the cast, the crew, what played Jason in the scene in the very first scene where you see Jason walking across the street, and all you see is her legs. Tom Savini was unavailable to do the effects because he was doing The Burning, which is a classic. If anybody hasn't seen that, it's Jason Alexander's first film. And that's a real classic of the slasher genre. And Savini really went to town with the effects on that, and you can that's just as influential as Friday the 13th or Halloween in the way the kills were done. This slasher, his name was Cropsy.
What's he doing? Making circles out in the field?
Yeah, dude.
It was a fucked up story. Like, he was a maintenance man at a summer camp, and the kids, he was an old drunk, so the kids fucked with him one night and put like this maggot infested head they got from a medical school in his his bunk. And so like he comes in fucking drunk, sees that head and starts flipping out, and like slammed it to the floor, and his whole house went up in fire. And so he has to go to like the burn unit and shit and all this crazy shit. And then he comes back to that same camp and starts killing people. Very reminiscent of Jason, but it's original enough that anybody who hasn't seen it should, if you're a fan of the genre. So since Savini was unavailable, they went to Stan Winston for the effects.
Good choice.
Yeah. If you don't know who Stan Winston is, he's famous for Aliens, Terminator, Jurassic Park, Predator, Glory, Godfather 3, Silence of the Lambs, and Philadelphia.
Damn.
Not to interrupt, but I'm going to. Stan Winston, back in early 2000s, made this awesome little short film. It was a Batman short film. I don't remember the name off the top of my head. I'll try to find it. But it was... The dude that played Batman was pretty awesome in it, but he was going up against the Joker. He had the Joker cornered, was going to kill him, and then a damn xenomorph shows up and kills the Joker.
Are you talking about those like Bat in the Sun things?
No,
It was like way before.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. A xenomorph shows up and kills the Joker, and then Batman, he takes out the xenomorph with the help of a predator, and then he fights this predator. And then there's a shitload of predators surrounding him at the beginning after he takes out one of the predators.
That's pretty
It was
cool.
pretty fucking awesome. It's like 10, 15 minutes, but very cool. I'll try to find it, and if I can, I'll put the link out there for anybody that wants it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Stan Winston, Rich Baker, Tom Savini, they're all giants in the film, in the film industry. Savini actually now has a special effects school, and you can. There was a documentary on it on YouTube. It's only like 45 minutes and stuff, and you actually get to see Savini's house. And like he talks about how like he's traded like working on smaller movies for studios to get like props from movies that he likes. So he has like a xenomorph head. He's got all sorts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
cool.
It's like the house that I've always wanted.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I found it actually. It's called Batman Dead End, and it wasn't by.
Okay.
It wasn't by Stan Winston, but Sandy Calora, who tutored under Stan Winston. My bad.
I've seen that before.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I'm not sure I've seen it.
It's pretty bad. Pretty bad. I mean, as in awesome. It's only 8 minutes long, so.
Who's bad? All right, guys. Part 3 was filmed in 3D. It was directed by Tom McLaughlin. Richard Brooker played Jason. Probably the most, besides being in 3D and all the 3D effects, it's probably most famous for being the first film with the hockey mask. Martin J. Sadoff came up with it. It was first seen an hour into the film. Another thing that this film started was the production name was Camp Japan. Started a trend for the Jason movies being misnamed so that people wouldn't know it was a Friday the 13th movie. And they used Bowie songs. So you guys will see if you watched last week's episode where I kind of made that a theme throughout the thing where, it was all the different Bowie songs. This was the one that was released on Friday the 13th, Josh. and also Amy Steele, who was Ginny, declined to return for the film. This one has some really iconic kills, including Jason's first ranged kill with the spear gun. And the effect for it was pretty awesome because like the spear comes right at you while you're watching the
it's
movie
like
in
3D, huh?
Yeah. So those were the first three films. I'm sorry that last week got cut off and everything, and but I know a few people have hit me up and said that they really enjoyed it. So I wanted to go ahead and get the first three films, and I know Gary's on part 4 right now, and he's enjoying them. He's never gone through the Friday the 13th movies before. So it's been pretty cool. Gary's been messaging me throughout the week with like, oh my God, this happened.
Man, shout out to Gary, man. That was cool that he mentioned it and brought it up on Breaking the Mold Tuesday night, which also airs on this very channel at 8 p.m. It was cool that he watched it and dug that enough to check it out. So that's really cool. And we want to do more stuff like that for you guys. So if there's anything you guys are interested in and would like to hear about that you've never checked out before, hit us up. Maybe we'll take that into consideration, right?
Absolutely. We've got some more stuff planned, and we'll roll it out as it comes along.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and get to the meat and potatoes of this show, which is going to be our news. So, Dan Aykroyd and Ernie Hudson have been both confirmed for the Ghostbusters reboot.
Sweet.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
That's all the win right there. I'll go see it just for that reason.
Yeah,
I was going to go see it anyway because it's, Jason Reitman, the son of Ivan.
Yeah.
So keeping it in the family.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that fucking Bill Murray, fucking gets on it. I loved Venkman. He was one of my favorite characters when I was a kid, out of all the movies.
The eternal smartass.
Yeah, and it's good that they're involved. I know, some of them were involved with the female remake. It's just I really did not enjoy that movie.
I think the level of involvement was a lot smaller too.
Yeah.
The thing is, I enjoy those actresses. I
Mhm.
enjoy Hemsworth.
Yeah.
That movie didn't suffer from casting. That movie suffered from terrible fucking writing.
Yes.
You talking about Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
The female reboot.
Hey, dude, now I'm surprised because all the people that were in it, like Leslie Jones and
Yeah.
they're hilarious.
See,
man.
I hate Melissa McCarthy, but
Yeah, I'm not a fan of her, but the
I'm
other three, I
indifferent
love
on.
them.
What's the girl? The other one? that was
Kirsten
involved?
Wig and
Yeah, she's hilarious.
Kate McKinnon.
God,
Yeah.
Kate McKinnon.
oh
awesome.
man,
Yeah, so it's like I remember when hearing reviews of that movie, I was like so surprised that it was bad because I'm like, how could with a cast like that? I'm like, how could they fuck that up? Pretty
The
much.
writing.
Yeah,
failed
yeah.
them.
It's writing and directing.
I mean, I wouldn't have minded if it was a good movie, but like that movie made me hate Kristen Wiig.
Really?
Yeah, like I go back and I watch her Saturday Night Live stuff and I still enjoy that, but like, I had just hate.
Yeah.
Hey, there's stuff out there though that you can watch that'll renew that. You'll enjoy.
And with Leslie Jones, all I have to do is read her Twitter account, and I'm just, I love you, Leslie.
Yeah.
Your thing with She-Hulk, that's my thing with Leslie Jones.
All right. Just a quick tidbit. There's a movie on Netflix that you would love, Nick, that has all three of them in it: Leslie Jones, Kate McKinnon, and Kirsten Wiig. That they're also in with Owen Wilson and Zach Galifianakis and Jason Sudeikis. It's called Masterminds.
Okay.
It's fucking hilarious. It's based on a true story that happened in the late 90s about these people in North Carolina that robbed a Wells Fargo truck. And at the time, it was the largest bank robbery in United States history. But they turned it into a comedy.
Sweet.
But yeah, you
Kind of like
see
Pain
it.
and Gain.
Like what?
Pain and Gain.
Oh, okay.
That was based on a true story too.
Yeah,
and,
that movie is hilarious, man.
yeah, I love that movie.
That's a Michael Bay movie.
Movie.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sorry. just
Oh, it's
wanted to
okay.
throw that out there. I mean, it's a fucking hilarious movie.
Oh, and also, just thinking about it, Dan Aykroyd was actually on Rogan like a week or two ago, and that was an awesome episode. They start talking about like his Crystal Skull vodka, and they go into all like Dan Aykroyd's like paranormal like beliefs and shit.
Yeah, man.
It's a really
He's been into that shit all his life.
yeah.
he is.
So it's
That's how he-
really interesting to watch.
That's
Go
how
ahead.
they came up. That was a part of how they came up with the Ghostbusters was because Harold Ramis was big into that shit too.
Yeah, I mean, but not like Aykroyd was.
No, nobody's on that level, dude. He did like a series or some shit. He had a series on was it sci-fi?
Sci-fi and never aired.
Prime. Dan Aykroyd was on Rogaine? Probably.
Shaking my head. Yeah, that dude's still brown headed, man.
Mm-hmm.
It drives me crazy, dude.
Yeah,
Dan
I know,
Aykroyd
right?
is just me if I would have been successful.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Man.
I love
All right,
that dude
guys.
so much.
Yeah, he's funny, man.
Dude, I even like him in that stupid ass movie, Nothing But Trouble, where he
Yeah.
plays the old ass judge.
I hated that movie when it came out. I haven't watched it in so long, though, but I might have to revisit it soon just to remind myself how terrible it really is. That's one of
It's
those
also-
movies you want to watch, like, with a bunch of buddies to make fun of it.
And also, it's significant because it's also Tupac Shakur's first movie role.
Well, yeah, all of Digital
Wait.
Underground was in it.
Yeah.
Was it?
When Tupac was nothing but a hype boy who danced.
He was a dancing Flavor Flav, is what he was.
Basically. There you go, Walt. There's some love for you.
I don't know. Fucking phone head, man.
All right, guys. Next up, NBC Universal has named their streaming service.
Yeah, I'm already laughing. This is silly.
It's going to be called the Peacock.
So they're gonna have Friends, Frasier.
Yeah,
all-
Friends,
I'm
Frasier.
12.
They are not getting Seinfeld because Netflix just signed a huge deal to get Seinfeld.
Yes, that makes me happy.
Look at Sam with that enthusiasm for Netflix there.
Dude, I love
Or
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld.
I love
Seinfeld and
Seinfeld.
Friends, I never liked at all.
I never watched an episode of Friends, but Seinfeld. Oh my god, that's
Seinfeld was so boring.
Greg and
Yeah.
Greg and I had this conversation on All Queued Up. Actually, he liked Friends but hated Seinfeld, and I liked Seinfeld but hated Friends.
See,
I hate them both.
Kindred spirits, man. I'm telling you.
Cheers. Cheers. Is
Cheers
where
was my shit.
Cheers?
Cheers
Cool.
is supposed to go on there. Cheers was awesome.
Cheers. Was
I wasn't a
good.
fan of Frasier though.
Oh God, dude,
Me
I love
neither.
Frasier.
I never watched that either. I was little.
It's pretty fucking
I
good.
didn't watch Seinfeld until like 2005, probably. Like
The
I never
only-
watched it when it was on. I watched it when I was I just like discovered it on my own. Like when
The
I
only-
started high school.
The only noteworthy moment from Seinfeld I remember is "No soup for you." Other than that, the rest of it just fucking sucked.
What about the
Oh,
whole? I mean, I did a total Seinfeld quote a few weeks back, and you about died. I was in the pool. I was in the pool.
That's right. Okay, that one.
Dude,
The
Seinfeld
shrinkage
is got,
episode.
it's just got
Yeah.
too much.
Like-
Man. There's I feel like there's just so much pop culture that's come from that, from Seinfeld, man.
And I hate, but
That's because
I hated-
motherfuckers haven't seen Night Court.
Oh, Night
There
Court
was
was
a great
awesome.
There was a great show.
Fucking Harry Anderson.
Yes.
Fucking Bull. Yeah, boy.
And who was the lawyer? Oh God.
John Larroquette as Dan Fields.
Yeah.
And then you had what was her name that played Christine? Shit.
I can't think of her name either, and I can see her face.
Yeah, Marky Post.
Yeah.
Yep.
But damn, oh my God, that was
Marsha
fucking-
Warfield as Roz.
Yeah.
And then
The
go ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, dude.
Oh, I was just seeing how many I could think off the top of my head. I mean, you know, Mac was the only other one that was the main cast because the original bailiff before Roz, Selma, she passed away during the series production.
Yeah. Dude, Mac was the shit too, though.
That was a great show, man. You know, that'd be a
God
show I
damn.
wouldn't mind seeing to be resurrected. Not as like a reboot, but like a continuation.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe. Anyway.
All the actors are still alive.
No, Harry Anderson died.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah, Harry Anderson died a couple of years ago.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
All right, reboot canceled.
The other reason why the Peacock is going to be significant is there's going to be a Battlestar Galactica relaunch. It's not going to be a reboot. It's going to be a continuation and build on the last one with Edgar James Olmos. See, I can slow myself
What you guys
down.
think about that, man? Did you like that?
I
that
caught
reboot
only a couple
from-
episodes, and I liked it a lot. I thought like the production value was great.
Yeah.
I liked Odama. I liked how they made the Cylons more human.
You're talking about
So-
Barack
Were
Obama?
they more human than human?
More human than a human. Zombie was on Rogan too.
Dude, I liked on that show like the space battles, like how quiet they were. Just because like it's like you can't hear shit in space, but it's like most movies don't, or like they like have sound effects or whatever, but they like
Dude,
tone them
I
down.
want- I
Cool.
want to see a sci-fi movie where all the space battles, everything that happens in space, there's not a goddamn sound through the thing, just to
Dude.
see people in the fucking theater go,
Yeah,
what the
get off.
fuck's going on? I want my money back. I can't hear it.
Yeah, could you imagine? They'd be looking at each other, looking left and right. Look at the person next to you; they're an idiot. You know, like,
Right, man.
I would be the asshole going,
yeah. That's what I liked about that show because it was all just kind of like they still had some because I don't know. I feel like you have to have some sound to kind of like tell the story, but with that show it was like all like very muted, and I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Like he said, in space, no one can hear you scream.
that's
The
alien.
other
It
thing
is
that they're going to be doing is they're going to be rebooting The Office, the American version.
Okay, so we
I
get
don't
another
know.
lame ass parkour fucking show, and
Yeah, that was one that started strong and fell off for me, man.
yeah,
I have never watched The Office.
the English,
Either one.
Either
one?
one.
Way
Either one. I
better.
know the English one is superior in every way, but I've never seen either version. And
Yeah.
I'm curious because I know The Office over here ran for a good 6, 7, 8 seasons.
I think 9, man. I think 9. So I will say that like that's one of the reasons why I am so resistant to get into a TV show because like that was one that started off so good, and it's like they kind of told the story that they needed to tell, but then they were like,
It
well, shit,
drug on too long.
ratings were high, everybody loved it, so they just kept it going, and I kept watching it, and I was like, this isn't good anymore. Man.
It was on like Netflix or Hulu or something for a while. I tried to go rewatch it, and it's just goddamn cringe.
Dude, so that's one where like kids today are like really into that, man. Like
Yeah.
and like not that my kids are, but like I teach middle school kids and they're always talking about it. But I think that's one of those like funny things like that and Friends, dude.
That's
Funny
the
enough.
porno version they're watching, buddy.
Yeah.
It's code word.
Yeah, because it's like that show and Friends, like they have stayed relevant. You know, I think because of being on Netflix.
Yeah, that could be.
But yeah, like I said, I was saying like
Yeah.
the kids love it, man. They love it. So I'm sure it's gonna do well.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I gotta come up with some shows for Netflix because a buddy of mine has he's the anti-technology. This guy doesn't watch TV. He doesn't fuck around with much for YouTube. Like
Wait,
He's
wait,
not vaccinated.
scared.
you got to come up with some shows for Netflix. What?
He
Wow.
got a Netflix account this week.
So he's wanting suggestions of things to watch.
Oh, yeah. Now,
if only there were a fucking podcast that had recommendations available
I
that
know,
came out
dude.
Yeah,
every Friday.
I would have to be able
Huh.
to tell him how to operate a podcast.
I was gonna say, wouldn't he be just
No.
against that?
But
That's a whole leap.
imagine
in and
if
of
you were
itself.
trying to give recommendations to Fred Sanford. I love the guy to death, but
You big dummy.
fucking
So that's like
out to
giving
Walter,
Netflix suggestions to Walt, basically.
maybe.
No, man, Rob, hit me up after the show and I'll get you a list of some good shit for him.
I was pointing him in some of the classic horror flicks that are on there, and
Mhm.
he used to be a big fan of Alien, the movie series, Aliens and Predator series.
Mm-hmm.
So
Dude, I watched the new Predator. Oh my god, dude.
Is it bad?
It is
Predators or whatever.
BAD bad.
Were you,
Ugh.
I
were
haven't
you
seen
able
the
to
latest.
catch it?
Unfortunately, no.
I'm gonna have to watch that tonight.
No, Josh, I caught him giving mass at the local parish, though. But I called the cops.
That's what
That's
most predators
catch,
are.
No, but yeah, it was bad, dude. Oh fuck. Never mind. I was gonna say something.
Wasn't Olivia Munn in it? Because there was a huge controversy about
Dude.
somebody that worked
She-
on that movie was like a sexual harasser, and then like Olivia Munn did the
Can-
movie and then
can-
started killing that guy.
Can we get a mod in the chat to delete EE Prime's comments? I mean, come on now.
He's a hater.
I swear
He's
to
a
God.
hater.
All right, I'm on it.
No, but she was in it, and she's still bad to me. You guys remember when what was she on what was that show called on G4?
Attack of the Show, bro.
Attack of the
Yeah, man.
show, man.
I used to watch that all the time when I was in. I guess I was in like early high school when that came out.
I didn't mind her on that.
Well, she seemed like she knew what she was talking
And it was
about.
before she had whatever surgery she had to fuck with her face.
Oh dang, man!
Because like she
I
had
didn't notice
some
that,
work
man.
done, man. Like if you look at her on Attack of the Show and then you look at her in fucking Apocalypse, like her face is completely changed. So like, and she had a relationship with Aaron Rodgers that went like south,
Yeah.
and her nudes are good. Those got you fucking leaked.
Post 'em-
Yeah,
post 'em in
Sarah
the-
Jean Underwood was on that show, but the one I had the biggest crush on Attack of the Show was fucking Morgan Webb.
Yes.
Yeah, dude, she was bad, man.
Oh,
I just liked them all, man. I would just sit there and never mind.
jacking it.
Yeah.
Were you down in San Diego when you did it?
No, I was down in my mom. I was down in my mom's basement, but
No one was looking.
yeah, man.
I was all by myself.
I was pretty unsupervised as a kid, man.
We're finding more and more out about that each week.
Somebody's gonna have to.
And he
like-
was thinking about She-Hulk the whole time.
Yeah.
I was like,
Somebody's gonna have to like fucking string together all these Sam clips so that we can get like a expose.
Best of Sam expose.
just throw it to my wife and be like, "This is the monster of the husband."
This is what you married. Are you proud of yourself?
Dude,
Hey,
gosh, it would be Morgan Webb, but if you could like click those little dots on the side and go like this, and just
I could
make
see
it
his
bigger.
wife going, "Hey, but at least he's honest about it."
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Hey, have you guys ever seen that movie? Dude, where's my car?
Yeah.
Oh
You
yeah,
remember at the end when there was that giant woman,
yeah.
like 50 feet tall? That's it. That
Yeah,
would be-
Sam walked out with a huge boner at the end of that movie.
if I believed in heaven, that's what it would be.
All right. So speaking of Sam and his fetish for being held by someone cosplaying as She-Hulk, Nick's
We're still
wife
taking
said,
applications.
"Do you want me to carry Sam around like a baby at TFCon?" So everybody, let's encourage, Mrs. Bremer when she's at
Remember her
TFCon.
fucking name, and you're
I
asking
know
her
her
to do
name. I'm saying I just didn't want to say, "Hey, let's ask Kate to go out there."
He's being
But all
respectful.
right, I was being respectful. So yeah, let's all say, "Hey, Kate, cosplay as She-Hulk for one afternoon and carry Sam around the convention floor for an hour and just cuddle him and pet him.
I mean, he's about the weight of a chihuahua, so you should be
It's
all right with
it's
that.
not even anything sexual, man.
Nick said he didn't want that to happen, but I figured, it's fair game since he's always hitting on Anna in front of Russ on here.
Now, here's the question:
There's roughness.
How
All right,
willing?
you guys have just fucked it up. I'm gonna bang fucking Anna at TFCon now.
Wait a minute. Wait. Is that the trade-off for us to paint Kate green and have her carry around Sam?
I guess
I'm okay with this.
It don't matter if we're okay with it. God damn, I don't want to see Russ start shooting people.
Oh my God, he's gonna kick our ass at the TFCon so bad.
He's a cupcake. He can't even win a fantasy football game.
Oh.
Jesus. Poor Russ. Hey, Russ. Hey, that's what you get, man. Not here to defend yourself.
Oh yeah. Peacock.
I'm never missing a show again.
Wait, we were on a topic.
Josh
for
is
like
a
12
snake
seconds.
blowing up
This is a
spots
good
like
show, man.
6969.
Hey,
Nick
here's the
Carrigan.
thing. I told Nick I was gonna say that shit on the show. He just didn't remember.
I don't have a good memory right now.
Dude, Russ is gonna complain to the manager.
If nobody fucking
Wait, Brammer is the manager.
He's the Bramager.
But if nobody fucking photoshops Russ with a Karen haircut, I'm gonna have words
Lowry,
next.
where you at,
Dude,
dude?
I got you. I got you.
Fucking Lowry, get on that shit.
He's got fat,
Yeah.
he's
All
got
right,
stacks of Cole's cash.
because I'm uncomfortable, we're gonna move on to the Marvel shit.
Hey, let's go.
All right, guys. There's been a series written by Mark Waid that's come out that's basically considered a companion to Marvel's called The History of the Marvel Universe. And they've just confirmed that the most powerful mutant of all time is Franklin Richards.
I mean,
Which, if you know the character, it's not that surprising.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's always kind of been billed as like an Omega level mutant at least, right?
Yeah, and like there's so much incontinuity shit with him and Galactus. In Earth X, he becomes Galactus and is an even more powerful version of him.
Mm-hmm.
In other things in the future, Galactus has become Franklin Richards' herald.
Yeah, that's cool.
So when Franklin Richards was gonna like show up and fuck shit up, Galactus would show up and be like, "You have 5 minutes to leave before God comes." Just some history on Franklin Richards. He's reading Sue Richards of the Fantastic Four's child. He was the one that created the Pocket Universe that saved the Avengers, Fantastic Four, and other characters that ended up going into the Heroes Reborn universe when Image was doing the Marvel titles for a little bit. After that, and just recently in Secret Wars, him and the Molecule Man Owen Reese recreated the Marvel multiverse after the incursions that Jonathan Hickman was writing about in Avengers. Yeah, so it's not surprising, but it's good to have confirmation. That this dude is the most powerful mutant that's ever walked the planet. There's no more discussion. There's no more, X-Man is Mad Jim Jaspers or whoever else the fuck you want to throw out there. Franklin Richards is the shit.
well, yeah, but can he take out Squirrel Girl?
Yeah, good question, man. Hey,
She's beat Thanos.
I mean,
to be
yeah.
determined.
I was kind of half joking when I said it, but she has taken down Thanos.
Yeah.
She's beat Wolverine hand to hand.
Mm-hmm.
Squirrel Girl's no joke, man, for whatever fucking reason.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway.
moving on. House of X and Powers of X are running concurrently, and they're Jonathan Hickman's reboot and relaunch of the X-Men. Both series are amazing. If you guys haven't been reading them, you need to get on it.
No joke. I mean, that's the best shit going in comics right now, hands down.
Yeah. There's some real.
No, we're not going to spoil.
We're not
Promise.
going to spoil it, but I mean, if you've been reading it, there's some major revelations about Apocalypse. It feels like the X-Men comic that you should be reading. I mean, it's the best shit to me in X-Men since Grant Morrison.
Yeah.
And I know that, not everybody was a huge fan of Morrison's run, but I'm a Morrison mark.
Loved it.
Yeah, and like it's the first time since Morrison that I've read and enjoyed an X-Men book.
Not so much even read and enjoyed, but read and just like, fuck, I have to wait another week for the next part.
Yeah.
You know, it's like after Morrison left the books, I was like, well, it was more of a like, I'll pick up X-Men this month, but I was never excited about it for a long time.
Yeah.
This is the most excited I've been about X-Men since 2003.
About that. I mean, and the thing was like Marvel followed Morrison's run with fucking Chuck Austin, which basically to me and
Really did a lot of damage.
Yeah, and universally that it's considered the worst X-Men run in the history of X-Men.
He did have good little bits here and there, but overall it was so flawed and so bad. It's ugh. But yeah,
what he did to Juggernaut,
that
the
was
retcon.
cool.
You liked what he did to Juggernaut?
No, I'm talking about the friendship that he had with the little kid and how he
with
kind of
Pete?
reformed him. No, I'm talking about Sammy, the little fish boy.
Oh, Sam, that's right. Shit. I get those two confused all the time. But yeah, X-Men is fun again, guys. It's amazing.
It
And yet-
really is.
And yes, Eric von Wolfenstein. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry, guys. He did write Action Comics. His Action Comics run wasn't half as bad as his X-Men run. But I really don't dig anything that he's done, personally.
Yeah, I mean, I would consider his X-Men stuff the worst stuff that was ever published.
On the face of the earth.
That he's written, most other of his comic work isn't bad. That was bad, though.
Yeah, his Action Comics run is considered bad, too, but it wasn't bad at the level of what he did to the X-Men.
It wasn't like, it didn't come with a warning on the front that said, burn after reading. Which is what his X-Men books made me want to do.
And now I'm going to call out our fucking Hobbit for not being caught up.
Oh my god,
What
I
the
know,
fuck,
man.
dude?
I need to get. Wait, so how many issues into each are there?
5 into each.
No, 5 into House, 4 into Powers.
Okay,
Okay,
I might
Powers
get
5
them
comes
tomorrow.
out next Wednesday.
I might go
Yeah.
get them tomorrow then.
Then House 6 comes out the following Wednesday, and then Power 6 comes out the Wednesday after, and then all the new books launch in October, the remainder of October and November. So, the great jumping on point, get House of X #1 and start reading these. You will not regret it. If you were a fan of the X-Men in any way, form, or fashion, you'll absolutely love what's going on. Dust hasn't read modern comics in years, and he is loving this shit.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, just from like how, the things that Dust enjoys to read, I didn't think that he'd be into this, but like, it was cool because he was like, here I go into House of X and Powers of X, and he was like kind of tentative, and like the more he read it, his comments in that thread just showed how much like he's enjoying it. And so,
Dude,
like,
we were in a hangout, and the excitement in his voice about what he was reading, he was like, "It's blowing my mind. I'm having to read it 2 or 3 times, but this shit's so good."
and like the thing is like they came out with that whole Krakoan language,
Mm-hmm.
and I haven't gone back and like translated everything because I just can't. But like
They do
I
have a
feel like
cipher for it.
yeah, they do have a cipher for it. So like all of the Krakoan language stuff in the middle, beginnings, and the end of the book, there is a cipher for it. You can translate it. I feel like I'm missing something, but the book's enjoyable enough that I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I have to catch up on that book.
Dude, Rob, you really do, man. If you like X-Men at all, this is so interesting.
Sounds like it's more akin to like old X-Men.
No,
No,
It's
it's not unlike
completely
anything you
new.
ever read before.
It's
Oh shit.
it's more even more than Hickman's Avengers run. This is more like Hickman's independent stuff.
Oh,
And that's a good thing. Even his Avengers stuff, man, it was I feel like with Hickman, you just gotta like put some trust into it and know that everything is gonna pay off. Because there is some stuff, like you said, like that you don't understand for a while. Like there,
Yeah,
like
and then
there
he
is that
always
payoff,
ties it in
you know?
later.
Hickman is one of the few writers in comics that pays everything off.
Yeah, because I think that just Snyder too, but I think that just is a testament to how well everything is thought out. You know, because you see so much with like they make decisions and then like if something if there's excitement behind something, then they kind of like retroactively explain it or make it fit into the story. But like
Yeah.
they always have, it's like I said, like they have everything figured out from A to Z.
There was a lot of that in the Apocalypse Twins run. he did.
Yeah.
Like there
That's
was stuff
awesome.
that like people really dug on, and like he read it and changed what he
Mm-hmm.
and added more exposition. And like the thing I really like about Hickman is Marvel and DC both have really been into like decompressed storytelling ever since Bendis got popular.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where like it's 5 or 6 issues where nothing happens. Hickman has those emotional beats that it takes writers like Bendis like 6 or 7 issues to get through.
I'd say Hickman and then like Rick Remender I would put in that same pocket. It is like they can get you to see those beats that kind of keep you invested in it, right?
Yeah.
To where and Snyder again.
Yeah, Snyder, man.
It's like there is I get what the market model is for comics is like you get people to buy issues and then there is that payoff, but it does take like a special writer to keep you wanting to read it more than just wanting to see what the payoff's going to be, right?
Yeah.
It's like getting you to still care about the characters, getting you to still relate to them, see yourself in them and in the story.
And see, like I think that like a writer like Bendis, where like you're waiting for the payoff,
It's cheap to
and
me.
half the time it comes, it doesn't. You know, it's
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Bendis fan. He did some great stuff in Ultimate Spider-Man, and when he first started on Avengers, he was really good. But I'm not a big fan of his stuff. I didn't even like his Daredevil run.
Dude, I didn't care for that either, man. So like the best things I like from Bendis were things like Disassembled, and then I like Siege a lot because it was only it was either 4 or 6 issues, but
Yeah.
it basically wasn't long enough for him to mess it up, you know. And I don't know if that was his choice or Marvel's choice to say, hey, we're only going to make this many issues, but it was a tight story. And I think before that, the big one was Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
which drug on for way too long.
Yeah, Secret Invasion was a chore to read. I think my
Yeah.
favorite Bendis story was the first shit he started doing with the Sentry, where it
Okay, that was
broke out,
really good.
where it broke out from the raft
Yeah,
thing. with
Avengers,
the first new Avengers.
Yeah,
New
it was the new Avengers breakout, and
Yeah.
then it was I think it was the title. I got the trade sitting in my room.
Yeah, it was called New Avengers: The Sentry.
Yeah, so I liked everything with the Sentry.
Mhm.
I did like some of his powers were kind of ill-defined, but
Yeah.
I like the idea of him as just being this kind of like attack dog from Norman Osborn for one.
Yeah, that was
So that was
dope.
really cool. And then just being like this, it's almost like the like a Superman.
Yeah,
But,
he's the best Marvel analog to Superman.
and I like what they did with him, making him in that villainous role. But
The Void.
yeah, but I remember it like in like in those books, he was just like, just kill me.
Yeah,
Kill me. Like I'm not
Yeah.
gonna like I can only cause harm pretty much. So
the new Sentry series, if you read that, was really good.
when did that come out?
Last year.
Okay, I didn't read that.
Yeah, it deals with the Sentry has to go into a virtual reality world where he can be the Sentry. Robert Reynolds does. And like it's this idealistic world, except that's where the Void is trapped. And like he had a sidekick called the Scout who lost an arm. And like the Scout steals the virtual reality contraption, and he goes into it so that he can have powers again. And then something happens where the Sentry fights the Void, and they come to an agreement. So the Sentry and Void are one.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it was like a reintegration of all his personalities, like Robert Reynolds, the Sentry, and the Void.
Because it's like I think I liked it because I know he like made that like space on the top of the Avengers Tower or whatever. But I think in Siege when he like turned into that spider monster, it was almost like I don't know. It's hard because
Well,
like
that was the Void taking over.
yeah. But it's like even that I don't know if I didn't like the way it was represented, but Sentry in Siege was awesome, man.
Yeah, dude, he has like the best feats probably in the last 20 years of any Marvel character.
Dude, he ripped Ares in half, man.
He ripped Ares in half. He killed
And that's
Loki.
that shit. So
He
like
ripped Carnage in half.
yeah, in the breakout one, but it's I mean when you look at Hickman's, you read Hickman's Uncanny Avengers, right?
Yes.
I don't remember like exactly when in the story, but like
What's
three
up,
characters. Yeah, what's up, Jason? Like 3 characters died like in one issue, right? But it's like and that was like a special thing to me, just because I think it took some balls to do that. But I get those same feels when I read Siege and he killed Ares, who was a big part of the Dark Avengers, which were in that time. That was a big book, a big deal book that was going on.
Yeah. The thing about Siege was like the parts with Sentry and Ares were the best part of it, because Ares was like actually redeeming himself. You know, the whole story of him and his son Phobos,
and that was cool because like kind of throughout the Dark Avengers, I kept thinking about that with Ares. Like, come on, man! Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
like you could fucking kill Norman Osborn. And he told him, he said, in Siege, he said, if I find out you're lying, like I'm gonna take your head. He told Norman Osborn, because at the time he was the Iron Patriot. He said, I'm gonna take your head, armor and all. And then as soon as he found out, that's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
Or tried to do until Sentry got him. But
and like that's the other thing. Like Ares has been really lying low since his resurrection.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a character I want to see more of.
Me too, definitely. He's cool, man. He's interesting. I like the look we got from him in all of those books, and it's like you said, like he kind of got his redemption, even though he died. But yeah, and I just like that storytelling. You know, I'd like to see it where it wasn't as much build up. But I think if it's well written and you care about characters, then the build up isn't a chore. You know.
I think that Marvel went through like their Bendis stage, where Bendis was the head writer and everything was decompressed, and like Hickman, like he can tell that long story, but there's payoffs throughout it. You don't have to wait till the exact end of the story.
It's throughout. It's throughout because there's things that might not seem like big deals, and I'm thinking of something he wrote like East of West.
Mhm.
When you do understand characters and what makes the characters tick, little small things are like little payoffs along the way. You know, and it has to. It's character development. A big thing with Hickman is world building. So when you understand the world that the story is being told in, little things that don't affect the story too much might have different payoffs for like certain characters. But
I think we lost Nick.
oh dang, really? Oh dang. What's the next story? We can keep it moving because we probably spent too long on that one, anyways.
I don't know. I don't know where he went to. He didn't see me. Do you guys have a list of what we were going over?
Dude, I didn't, because usually he posts it in the chat,
and he didn't tonight.
But he didn't tonight. Okay, hopefully he's okay. What do you guys want to talk about, man? What's going on in the world?
Well, I mean, can we talk about what we did at Area 51 today?
Yeah, man.
Stole alien shit.
No drywall was safe. No drywall safe. Rob might have polio.
Oh wait, there he is. He's back.
Okay.
Sorry about that, guys. I clicked off of the wrong window.
Shit. What are we supposed to be talking about? We don't have the list.
Yeah, sorry about that. Just the last thing I want to say about Hickman before we move on is he does an independent book called The Manhattan Projects, and that is just amazing. And
I literally don't know how he does it. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah, and like with that project, he has the space and the time to do like the very, very long form stories.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's awesome.
And just real quick, like if you've never read it, it's like a kind of alternate history set towards the end of World War II. And it's just insane. It's insane. The art's incredible. But yeah,
absolutely.
Conversation for another time.
Yeah,
hey,
that would be a good one that we could do, like what we were talking about. Sam.
Yeah, we were talking about last night. I was gonna say deep dive into those things. Okay. Yeah. I'm filing that away.
Yeah, absolutely. Our next part of our Marvel news is Marvel is planning a Savage Land comic series and also a Savage Land movie. And what they said is that they want to do Jurassic Park right. So,
is this a live action movie or animated or what?
From what they said, it's gonna be live action.
Okay. So what characters are involved in that? Who's that blonde-headed dude?
Kazar,
yeah.
Zabu, the saber-toothed tiger.
Sauron.
Sauron. The mutates. A lot of them were in Sinister's group, I think, the Marauders. But yeah, it's a deep dive, and then but the thing about the Savage Land is that it's a jungle, but it's a jungle where dinosaurs are still around and mutated fucking creatures, and it's about these people surviving.
I'm
sorry, Sam.
I was gonna say it's like anything goes, like anything,
Yeah.
anything your imagination can think of.
Yeah, so I think it's interesting that they're going to be relaunching the comic series. They did have a Savage Land book back in the '60s, and actually the '40s there was a Savage Land book.
Wow, it goes back that far?
Yeah, but Kazar didn't Kazar or Kazar. I've always called him Kazar, but Kazar didn't show up till like the '60s and '70s, and his wife is Shanna, and she's pretty dope too. Anybody got anything to say?
No, I'm lost.
No, I mean, I think it would
I'm
be
so
cool.
I'm far behind in comics right now, man. I really got to start reading more.
Yeah.
like
I'm down for anything they want to do, live action, or TV show, or animated. Otherwise, anything, I'm for it.
I was gonna say if it's live action, I mean, I am worried about where it's all going. Just because I mean, from Iron Man 1, we had an end point, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
Well,
concern.
think
just
we need an endpoint really at this point.
Dude, I want one, man. I want one.
But like Sam, there's so many stories you can tell.
There's a lot of standalone stories you can tell. Not everything has to be interwoven.
No, I agree with you. But and if they drop one of those that I'm like, okay, this is what I'm attached to, or a character that I'm attached to, then I'm in. But the Savage Land is not. It's just not that.
Yeah, I hear that.
See, I've never been attached to the Savage Land either. I've never been into it, but I would be interested to
Dude, well,
see
hey.
new takes on it. You know what I'm saying?
I also wasn't ever interested in Guardians of the Galaxy.
See,
Exactly.
I was, but I didn't like the cast of that they introduced in Annihilation, which is basically the people in the movie. I was into the old Guardians of the Galaxy with like Charlie 27, Nikki as the Phoenix, Martin X, Starhawk, all that shit. That's the Guardians of the Galaxy I was into. But like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
the
it's
new
like
shit,
That's
I
like
didn't
always,
care until the movies.
Yeah, and that's like always kind of what I remind myself about whenever like they do something that's more low key or not as well known. I'm like, okay, I also didn't care about this, and now I love it. Now I care about this character, so I will take the shit with an open mind.
The old Guardians of the Galaxy book had the most powerful iteration of the Silver Surfer. It was the
Take
Silver
that,
Surfer
Russ.
the Silver Surfer was called the Keeper. And what ended up happening was it was the Silver Surfer, and he became the protector of the galaxy. So he had Quasar's quantum bands.
Mm-hmm.
So he had the power cosmic, and then he had all of Quasar's
damn.
powers too. So it was
Exactly.
crazy. Sorry, I think I've been boring you guys with the Marvel shit.
No, you're good. You're good.
We've been having some good discussions, man.
All right, the next and last story for Marvel is the 2099 comics are coming back. We're getting at least a one shot of each of these, which is Doom 2099, Ghost Rider 2099, Spider-Man 2099, and Venom 2099.
I'm for it.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. I really enjoyed the 2099 comics when they launched.
Me too.
Especially Doom and Spider-Man and the X-Men. Those were really the three I was into back then.
Yeah.
We had the I think we had the Spider-Man one, and I still have like the original one. Like it's all beat up and everything, but I had that and the Hulk, and like my son found those in our room, and like he's always looking at them. So I think that's cool, just because like at the end of Into the Spider-Verse when they show Spider-Man 2099, like he knew what it was. So I thought that was cool.
Awesome.
Miguel O'Hara, the guy that was Spider-Man 2099, he was really interesting, I thought.
Yeah, I thought that was cool, man. And I thought that what was that Spider-Man show where it was after like the main animated
Spider-Man Unlimited?
Yeah, like
where he went to Counter Earth.
Yep. And I think they kind of did an homage to that. But like I thought that show was good, man. I thought that show was good.
I enjoyed it, especially because I like that weird shit, like with the high evolutionary.
Yeah, me
I-
too. I was like really into that show.
Yeah, like his shit, like the high evolutionary and Counter Earth were in that 70s Jim Starlin run of Warlock and
Yeah.
shit, and yeah, those are some of my favorite comics I've
Man,
ever
Jim
read.
Starlin, that dude is out there.
Oh yeah, man!
Out of this
Like
world.
they told him that they needed a dark side in the Marvel universe, so he created Thanos.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thanos is a badass.
Yeah.
Eric V in the chat, he said it's been $20.99 for years. Those live the longest year after.
Well, that's Von Wolfenstein. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to something a little heavier. Christopher Eccleston did an interview, I believe, with The Guardian on his season of Doctor Who, and he detailed how he was going through anorexia and chronic depression during that entire series he did with Moffat.
No, it wasn't Moffat. That was when Russell Davies was running.
Russell Davies, yeah, but Moffat was writing.
Moffat
too.
was a writer, yes, but Davies
Yeah.
was the showrunner.
Right.
That was actually my introduction to Doctor Who, his season.
See, I used to catch the old Tom Baker shit on PBS when I was a kid.
I never gave it a chance. I would just flip on past.
Yeah, I had a
To this day.
I had my gay uncle. His name was Donnie. He ended up dying of AIDS, but he was really cool. He introduced me to Doctor Who. He introduced me to like Faulty Towers and shit like that. All the BBC shit that was on.
That's cool.
You know,
Faulty Towers was great.
yeah, and then like he. I was waiting to watch You Can't Do This on television on Nickelodeon, but before that, they used to show Monty Python. And so he was like, you need to watch this shit. So, like, he introduced me to so much cool shit. PBS back in the day, WGBH was the Boston PBS, and it was fucking amazing. But yeah, I think it's great that Eccleston came out and talked about, you know, being anorexic, having massive depression. He says that he's gotten his best reviews for his acting since he's been on antidepressants. And if you look at Eccleston in Doctor Who and then you look at him now, there's a massive difference. In Doctor Who, it's like the version of Christopher Eccleston that's equal to Christian Bale in the that movie he did. I think it's The Mechanic.
The Machinist.
The Machinist. That's it. I would keep saying The Mechanic, but it's The Machinist.
That was a dope ass movie.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I mean, I just think it's cool that he talks about it, because I feel like, especially for men, it's hard to talk about that stuff, because there's almost like this it's a very taboo thing, even though it's something that, like, so many people go through.
Yeah, it's almost that, you know, if you're a man going through mental health issues, you're viewed differently. You know,
Yeah, it's like you're viewed as like
weak.
like yeah, exactly. And it's like I like, me and my wife had talked about this. You know, it's like she always tells me, she's like, you just seem like you got it so together or whatever. And I'm like, I'm dealing with shit, but I feel like I can't like talk to you about it, because I don't want to be like a burden on the family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, I went through that same shit before I changed jobs. I was
Yeah.
massive depression. It was a bitch.
And it's like, and it's nothing that's like, then I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's like, as like like we're all dads, you know. So as like the head of the house, like, you can't be bringing your shit into it, you know. So
Yeah.
so I do feel, even though, like, if I said, hey, Jackie, I'm struggling with this and this, it's not like she would like shame me, you know.
Right.
She would be supportive and everything, but it's like, I just don't even want to bring that. And I feel like a lot of guys go through that, which is
Well,
and that's changing with time.
It comes down to you want to be there for your family,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to suck it up and
Exactly,
do your
man.
best to provide
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah.
You don't want them to feel
Exactly
the
what
effect.
it is.
Yeah, you as a dad that suffers with mental health issues myself,
Mhm.
I feel like I have to suck it up and, not express my problems, or, you know, like you guys were saying, like burden your family with it, because
Yeah.
society tells you that you're supposed to be so strong and you're the one that's
Mhm.
supposed to, be the rock
Figure everything out.
and figure everything out. Yeah.
Yeah, you're supposed to suck it up and deal.
And
Yeah.
it's and like I've got better over the years of
I've got Zoloft to help me suck it up and deal.
I've got Stag beer to help me with that, But like I mean, it is like, and it's like I've gotten better, like since I mean, me and Jackie, we've been together for 10 years now, and I've gotten better about like saying, because like I know when something's bothering me, and I know when she can tell, and like she'll just give me this look, and I'm like, okay, this happened at work today, or like I'm worried about this and this, and it's always cool, but yeah, there is that pressure, like as a man, to kind of bottle that stuff up, but that's not healthy.
No, it's not.
Not at all.
You gotta be able to express what you're feeling the same way anyone would, and I feel like the more people in that public spotlight that come out and share that that's the better thing. And it doesn't, like I was saying, like like you see that shit where people are gonna be like, oh, kids today, or like people today are so soft or whatever, but it's like we understand more now than we did in the past. So
Right.
Yeah.
like we do things to take care of ourselves that we didn't used to because we didn't have that knowledge. So I don't think that's a sign of weakness.
Better living through chemistry for me.
Yeah. and then this is therapy too,
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll be honest, man. Like for me, you guys, I spend all day literally alone.
Mm-hmm.
Like my people interaction is very minimal, so I'm in there with all those gears turning all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And you ever want to talk about something that'll fuck your head up?
Yeah, isolation isn't how humans are supposed to be.
No, and I do that for
and it's like
12, 14, 16 hours a day.
Like for me, like I kind of thrive on some, like I'm a very introverted person, but so like I do like need alone time. And it's like, to me, it's like when I get that time, it's like I'm filling my gas tank up. But I could see, like Rob, what you're saying, when you get so much of it that it's like you just let your mind kind of race on its own, and that's not always a good thing, It's like,
the worst part, I can't stop it.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
like it starts down a path, and it's just, oh, here we go.
Yeah, and it's like you get hung up on some little things, and it's like you can't get your mind out of it. And it's like I'll say with my job, like I'll speak candidly, it's like something will happen in the day, and like I take that shit home with me.
Yeah,
like a bad interaction with the kids, and like I communicate that to them. I'm like, you did this in class, and it made me feel this way.
When I was at my old job, I was really bad for that too. Like everything came home. I could not leave work. Now it's not so bad, but like my problem is now if some shit happens outside of work, because my job goes pretty smoothly 99% of the time, and the stupid little shit that happens now, it's just whatever. All right, fuck it, I'm out.
Yeah, and it's like I'm kind of like in between, because it's like some stuff I'm like, are you gonna let this go, or are you gonna take it home? Because if not,
Yeah, my advantage is I can look at the person and say, I'm not going to be looking at you in another 35 seconds, so...
Yeah, and it's like, for me, it's like, if I leave it at work, I still got to deal with it the next day. You know what I mean? Because it's just like the nature of the profession, so it's like, this year, I've made it a point to be like, go address this shit before you go home. Or else you're going to take it home, you're not going to be the same when you go home. You're not going to be the dad that you need to be or the husband that you need to be. So like that's why I've been better about this year. It's been like just hashing the shit out.
Yeah.
With-
Go ahead.
I was gonna say with kids as opposed to waiting to see if it gets better or like dealing with it the next day, just because I can't be taking that home, you know.
Yeah. My issue is if some shit happens at home, like you guys know what happened a couple weeks ago while I wasn't on the show. That
Yeah.
shit,
Mhm.
that stuff. That's what fucks me up now because then I'm sitting there all day with that shit just in my head, and we had some other shit go down that was just it's stupid inane shit, but because of that situation,
Yeah, no, and
I was already depressed, and I'm always
yeah. Well, it hits different. It's like you guys know, like the stuff that my oldest son, like he's had to deal with some shit, and it's like
Yeah.
sometimes I'll just be, and it's like Rob, kind of like what you said when your mind's not busy.
Yeah.
So it's like, and it'll be like I'll be in the shower, and that's like the most calm my mind is all day, just because it's like I don't have anything else to busy myself with. But it's like I'll think about some shit, and then it's like I'm right back there when it happened, you know, and I'm just no good.
Yeah, the fucking 3-day panic attack. That was fun.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And
I know those.
Yeah, and it's the same shit, and it's like I come out and I'm like I'm upset, and my heart's beating a mile a minute.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I don't know, man. And it's just tough shit. I mean, it's just the burden of one being a parent.
Yeah.
But then I think just living on this earth, you know, like it's just tough shit. It's tough shit. We gotta do it together, you know.
And that's the thing, though. It's like, and that I think, well, like we're talking about him and the issues he was having during the comic writing and whatnot. With us being men, it's always that strive to push through. Oh, you know what? I'm a man. I can get through this shit. It's just not, you know, tough it out. And at the end of the day, it wrecks you, dude. All those years dealing with the bullshit I dealt with my old employer, I perfectly candid between us and apparently on the air. There's a couple times I damn near tried to off myself over that shit. Like it got that bad.
Mm-hmm.
I literally totaled out a car and damn near just as an intent.
Yeah.
I think when you suffer from mental health issues, that it is hard as a dude to do it because there's all that societal pressure.
Then you're driving to work one morning and decide that big line of trees looks real pretty at about 90.
Yeah.
Or you're sitting alone at home and you got a Glock in your hand and you're thinking for a reason why not to pull it.
Yeah.
And it sucks. It's like none of our wives or like people in our families would like feel like, or if we like came to them with this shit, like none of them would make us feel bad about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, not at all.
It's like you said, it's that pressure that makes you not even want to do it. You know?
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's a self-induced hell.
Yeah,
I think a lot of it, like you guys probably have the same scenario I've got, where you guys have wives who have so much on their plate already.
Yeah, man.
You're literally the only one you can go to, but you don't want to add that stress to them too.
Right. Because, and that's the thing, like I'm a stay-at-home dad, so like I get the things from dudes and women where they're like, why aren't you working?
Yeah, it's like both.
You know, shit like that. And then, you know, you feel that pressure with me personally of my wife being the one that works and everything, that I don't want to burden her with any of my problems.
Yeah, dude, and that's like a unique situation in and of itself, you know, because I think in my house it's pretty much like 50-50. Like me and Jackie work about the same. I got the summers off, but then she only works like 3 days a week, so it's like it averages out.
Yeah.
But she's in school right now, and that's like kicking her ass, and it's something that's going to be beneficial to us in the long run. But it's a thing to where it's like she's just had to be gone a lot more, you know. And it's like I don't ever want to, or I never do make her feel guilty about that. But there is sometimes where like it does show because, I mean, there might be stress from the kids or like I do gotta have to do a lot of work from home with my job, just like because of the nature of my profession.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of times I might wear that stress, but I don't want to say like, hey, like, you know, I got to grade these papers, make these PowerPoints, you know, because it's like I just don't want to burden her with that, you know.
Yeah.
And I could tell, man, I watched my wife for the longest time. She was a stay-home mom, and everybody thinks stay-home parents have it made or it's so
Fuck
fucking easy.
no, dude, because I
Yeah.
do that
Twice as hard as I did.
Man, it's like because I do that shit in the summertime. I mean, from the end of May to the beginning of August, I am a stay-at-home dad. I don't work in the summertime because I get paid through the summer, and I don't have to. But it's like, yeah, I mean, even just being at home with the kids, like that shit's exhausting. You know,
Well,
like,
It's a
it's
double
no
full-time
joke.
job. It's
Yeah.
a double full-time job that you don't get paid for. It is hard ass.
At least
Yeah.
at work, at least when I go to work, I get to deal with different kids. I come home and deal with my own. It's almost easier
Yeah.
to go to
And-
work and then come back, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like when the kid goes to school, like you're alone from the time they're in school and your significant other is at work.
Yeah.
So if you have any problems, you know, you're just alone and it just runs through your head like a fucking bad tape.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, now that
And-
we've become the Debbie Downers of the.
yeah. Eric von Wolfstein said, anyone in the realm who is feeling depressed, please message me. We're all bros here. And yeah, I'd like to extend the same thing.
I think any of us would be
Yeah.
more than willing, and you know, we've all been there, done that. We've all had like we were
Yeah.
talking tonight. We've had serious bouts of depression between all of us. I mean,
Yeah. It's a thing. So
I would never ever not take the time to listen to somebody that reached out. So
right.
you know,
just know that if you message me and I don't answer at night, my phone goes to automatic do not disturb. I will answer as soon as I see it.
yeah.
But I will
Alright.
answer you. I will talk to you.
Go ahead, Josh.
I was just gonna say, we didn't intend for it to go this serious, but we felt like it was a thing to talk about.
Yeah.
So mental health's a big deal, and you never know what anybody's going through.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people don't choose to vocalize it.
And some of us got
But-
really good at hiding it.
Exactly.
That too.
Exactly.
You develop your own coping mechanisms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm just, if you're going through something and you need some help, never hesitate to reach out to any of us on this panel. And I'm sure Russ would say the same thing.
Absolutely.
Oh, for sure. Because
Because,
he's
hey,
been there too.
I love The Rock, man. This group's become incredibly important to me in the past year and a half, almost 2 years now. So,
Yeah. I mean, we may have our issues with, off and on with everybody, as far as everybody bickers once in a while. The whole thing is like a family. We may spit and spat, but at the end of the day, we're all here for each other, and we're all going to come together like brothers and sisters.
Absolutely.
And we're going to fight like them occasionally, too.
That's the fucking truth.
Yeah.
But we're always going to hug it out in the
I
end.
mean, even this show, man, it's like this needs to be like a social experiment of getting different people from different ages, different generations, different beliefs and backgrounds, and just seeing that they can coexist. So it's like it's all good shit.
and Russ.
Yeah, and Russ.
And then there's Russ, who's always the exception, but
All right.
We love him the most. We miss you, man.
All right. To piggyback onto that discussion after we go so serious and
Hey, real quick.
Yeah.
Russ, if you lose a leg on a roller coaster, lose the opposite one to Josh so we can have Siamese twins happening.
Word. I can sew. But anyways, guys, to piggyback off of the Eccleston news, and he had a really good interview. Stephen Fry has been cast in Doctor Who season 12, episode 1, which is supposed to be a spy centric episode.
Dude, that's another dude that's very open about his mental health and the issues he struggles with. Stephen Fry. I love that dude, man.
And he was closeted for so long, and it just did so much. It did so much damage to him. So that's another thing. Like
I think that's an age thing too, because he's from a much older generation, and back in his generation, that was a big no-no.
Yeah, and that's why like his role in V for Vendetta was so personal.
Yeah.
And like I could feel that. Stephen Fry is an amazing actor, and he's funny as hell.
Oh yeah.
His Fry and Laurie stuff.
Yeah.
I was watching a show not too long ago that he did in the BBC. It was like some kind of travel show or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was fun.
He actually traveled to America.
The cab, yeah, that was what it was. Where he brought the little black cab over, and he was going around the country. Dude, that was some amazing shit.
Yeah, I like Stephen Fry.
I hug. I'm a hugger.
Me
I'm
too,
like
man.
Bailey.
I'm going to tell you one thing. I hug, but I also grab ass when I hug. So, you guys see me at TFCon, you give me a hug. I am grabbing your ass, and I don't care who you are.
I don't necessarily grab ass, but I do grab stump and rickshaw. So there's that.
There you go.
Well, yeah, but this year there's no chair, so you can't do that.
Yeah,
I'm sure the hotel's got something I can steal and stuff your ass into.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to something that's somewhat funny. A man was arrested at Raw in Knoxville for filming people using the bathroom in the men's room.
Hey, dude, why do you think
Twitch streamer?
Why do you think Night of Ren's not in the chat, man?
Yeah, Night of Ren, where are you? Were you arrested?
They take your phone away when you go to jail. I'm joking. It wasn't Night of Ren. I don't think. I haven't heard from
We don't think.
If you need bail, message.
I can always text her. Yeah, dude.
We sold some T-shirts, man. We got a little bit of money from.
We got like $60.
Yeah.
No, that's insane, dude. I mean, it's like the lengths that you would have to go to, but there must be some money. You know what I mean? Like coming through on the other end. Could you imagine being the type of dude that's like, you know what, man, porn? It just doesn't cut it for me anymore. I need some live bathroom footage.
I don't know, Russ. What's that like? Tell us when you get back.
He's not here to defend himself, man. we got
Look, Eric V in the chat and Dalton. Eric's like, "You promise?" Yeah, I'm gonna grab that ass, man. I ain't gonna lie. And then, and then Dalton, he's like, "Oh God, flashbacks." He knows.
Man, I'm about to start watching shows if I'm out for the night. See how bad y'all rip on me.
It's just Russ.
We're killing poor Russ.
It's just Russ, man.
He's never coming back.
To be fair, there wasn't much life left in him after that ass whipping he took from me last week. So fuck that little cupcake. I'd send him love, but I mean, is he worthy?
Yeah.
Losing that bad? Is he really worthy of it?
All right, guys. Next story. Suicide Squad casting has been announced.
Who'd they get?
David Dastmalchian. I have no idea who that is.
The blue fuck is that guy?
John Cena.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Doing what?
Oh, God.
Jai Courtney. Joaquin Cosio. Nathan Fillion. Joel Kinnaman.
He was in the first.
Isn't Nathan Fillion a goddamn video game journalist?
No,
voice actor.
You're thinking of Nolan North, who's a video game actor, voice actor.
From IGN.
Nathan Fillion was on Firefly and in the movie Serenity.
Yeah, you know if you saw him.
Okay. No, there's
Yeah.
another Nathan something that's real close
Castle.
to the game journalist.
My wife loved that show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
Next name is Mei Ling Ning. I
What?
believe she was Katana in the first one.
Was she? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Flula Borg.
Oh, dude, that motherfucker is funny as hell. He's
Sean
actually
Gunn.
a DJ from Germany who also is a comedian. So
Cool. Sean Gunn, who's
So
James
James
Gunn's
Gunn's
brother.
who's
So-
Kraglin in Guardians of the Galaxy and the live on-set actor of Rocket.
He'll probably have like a cameo then, right?
Probably, I don't know.
Yeah, he'll probably get taken out.
Juan Diego Bato. Most of these names I haven't heard of. I'm just going to read the names that I know. Pete Davidson, Taika Waititi, the director of Thor and also the
Yeah,
voice
how
of
about that?
Korg.
Yeah.
Alice Braga.
All this DC and Marvel mixing, man. What you
Now
think?
she's from that show on USA, isn't it? What's the name of it? All right, carry on. Keep going.
Yeah. Peter Capaldi.
Hey, Alec Capaldi.
Jennifer Holland. Viola Davis is returning as
Good.
Waller.
She was awesome, man. She was awesome.
Idris Elba. Margot
Yeah.
Robbie.
Nervous about that, man.
And Michael Rooker.
Idris
What?
Elba
Yeah.
can make a
I forgot
fucking
about Michael.
bad writing look good.
Dude, but
No,
here's
he can't. No, he
Hey.
can't. Because have you seen the
How
Dark
can
Tower?
Saw?
Fuck you, Rob.
But Rob, I'm with you.
Yeah, but he was awesome in the Dark Tower. The movie wasn't great, but he was good at it.
I don't want Idris Elba to be wasted on some bullshit ass role. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Dude, I wanted to be
I
Bronze
wanted to-
Tiger so bad.
I want to be Ra's al Ghul, dude.
Oh hell yes.
That's it for me.
Out of the new cast members, the only ones on IMDb that are listed for characters are that David Dasmalkian. He's going to be the Polka Dot Man. And John Cena is going to be the Peacemaker,
Oh,
I don't know
God.
anything about him.
which is kind of the role that we were talking about for him being U.S. agent. Peacemaker's in the
Dude.
same exact fucking moment.
I'm cool with that, but I want him to be U.S. If I could pick one or the other, obviously I want to be U.S. agent. But
Yeah, but
I don't like the dude that they got to do U.S. agent, man.
Yeah.
Like Kurt Russell's kid, he looks like a little nerd, man.
All right.
What's he gonna do?
All right, next. I'm gonna go ahead and skip the Titan season 2 stuff because Russ isn't here.
Well, one thing they did show the Nightwing.
They did show the Nightwing costume, which
that
was
thing-
pretty cool, and you can find that on the internet.
You can find that on the internet.
So yeah, Titan season 2 is coming. The actor that was Robin in the first season is going to be turned into Nightwing. Cool.
Cool.
Next thing is Jon Favreau volunteers for a new Star Wars holiday special.
Wow.
God, let
That's
it happen.
Going
Is it gonna be?
Yeah.
Is it gonna be live action animated?
Well, I
Dude.
mean, it's not confirmed that they're going to do it. He's saying he wants to
He
do it.
wants to do
Oh,
it.
okay. No, God, man.
I'm for it. Let
Yeah,
it happen.
man. Like a new one. Just like do it.
Don't we
It's
need
fucking
more train
awesome.
wrecks in our life?
I don't think it'd be a train wreck if he did it.
I don't
mean,
know. I think he should do it ironically and make it a train wreck.
No, that's true too. But I mean,
Yeah,
Everything-
Daisy Ridley out there singing, and Adam Driver
yeah, shirtless, of course.
singing Jingle Bells.
Yeah. So that's the news on that.
That is that.
Yeah. The last story, I don't know if anybody besides me gives a damn, but DC Comics will be doing some backup stories in all their books with Svengoolie, the Chicago-based horror host who is on WGN, I believe, in MeTV.
WGN.
Yeah, and so Svengoolie's in the line of like Zachary the Cool Ghoul and other horror hosts like that. Each back in the day, like when we were growing up, if you were into that shit, each region had one. Like there was one in Boston, there was one in New York, Philly, and then they had a West Coast one. And Svengoolie is basically the last one doing it. He shows classic horror movies and shit on MeTV. I know, like the old school Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, and even like crazy shit like It Came from Another Planet. He's kind of a cultural icon if you're into that.
Yeah.
So DC is going to be doing backup stories with him in it. Anybody care?
Cool.
I mean,
super
I'm
regional.
sure I would check it out in one of the comics that appeared in.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm going to actively seek it out though, because I have no idea who it is. But that's pretty cool that they're giving him a chance to do that. Considering where he originated from.
Yeah.
So awesome.
He's like the male
I'm sure it'll
Elvira.
I'm sure it'll be better than anything Chuck Austin's ever wrote.
That. Yeah. And Bendis had a big lot to do with this too because he's a big Svengoolie fan. All right, guys, that's everything we have for tonight.
That's it.
Hey, we got through it all.
And I just want to apologize. I am in a lot of pain. So if my affect is off or I was a little boring tonight, I'm sorry, guys.
Cool, man. Played it cool.
I tried. So, Josh, in a few seconds, is going to play our outro. I just want to go ahead and just tell you guys that doing this show is a lot of fun, and I enjoy it. I enjoy everybody on the cast here. And I'm really happy every week that we see a lot of the same people in the chat supporting. Mm-hmm. You guys posting your pics of your merch is fucking awesome.
True.
I never thought that anything I would ever do would touch people enough that they would buy merch for it. I'm just over the moon. Like when Lowry posted his pictures, Brink fucking drinking from our mug on BTM.
Yeah.
Just cool shit, man. And there's gonna be a lot more content coming, and it's not just gonna be Masterpiece Shippy.
Yeah.
Theater.
We got a lot. We have
a lot of stuff that we're working on, and I'm just excited. Fuck you.
Sorry.
All right.
You okay?
Okay.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Cat shit on him. All right.
It involves a cat, and it involves something coming out of a cat right in front of me, and I just...
hairball?
Nah. I apologize.
It's all good.
Right through your stomach and everything.
It's okay, man. Fucking that's how we do.
That's why cats are cock smooches.
Yeah, so again, sorry about my performance this show, guys, but I'm gonna end it how we always end it. Peace, love, and hair grease. Josh, we're out. Go ahead and play the credits.
All right. Later, everybody.
Link soon.
Yeah, we'll throw that out.
Everybody absolutely.